Thinking of building a new home? Here's 12 questions you should ask before you do. Hi, I'm Dale Frazell and welcome to my channel. I love new construction and I've been at it for a very long time. I am truly excited to share my knowledge to people who can benefit from my new construction experience. Okay, just before I jump into the questions, I just want to kind of clarify something about home builders. Home builders are a career choice, meaning that these guys maybe learned the business when they were younger and now they're older and they have more experience and they can put all these contractors together. The reason I say that is because each home builder is an individual business. Unlike McDonald's, where they have the same menu from here to there, it's always the same. Builders always will have a variance on the way they build. Now, they build by uniform national building codes. Yes, that is true, and also by local city ordinances that require certain building practices to put in place, but they do differ. Just want to make that clear. All builders operate differently. Now, here are those 12 questions you should ask either the builder or the builder's rep before you sign on a dotted line. Number one, what incentives or concession is that builder offering? That can be a large savings, and also depending on what time of the month you buy from different builders. And also, a lot of times builders have what they call their preferred lenders. They also have different incentives too. So there could be a big savings between the builder or the lender. Number two, what are the standard features that builder offers in their home? The reason I bring that up because most likely you've been in their model home. Now you're going to see a home that has all the bells and whistles. That's nice, but you're going to pay extra for all that. So you need to know what the base, the standard features that come with that home. Number three, are there lot premiums? Well, let me just break that down. Lot premiums are something a builder puts in place. So they buy the lot for X amount of dollars, but they realize that it has either a view, it's oversized, it could be a corner, and it could be a cul-de-sac. So they're going to add an additional fee to that lot or the sales price. So you need to know that, because a lot of times you're not going to know that until you actually start the contract process, and then they tack on that additional money. And number four, do they offer upgrades and options with pricing? You want to know ahead of time. It'd be best if you could actually get a list of the upgrades with the pricing on that. And that way, when you're putting your budget together, you can pick out what you like to put in that house, and also you know what it's going to cost. Number five, what is the option and upgrade process? I'm going to break this down into three categories. First one's going to be structural, second one will be cosmetic, and the third one will be the design center. Structural. Let's say you want a 3-car garage, a bonus room with a bathroom, whatever the options that you want, that is in their structural. That builder will take that from the offer that you made, and they're going to have that drawn up. They'll draw it up to where then it'll be submitted to the building department to get permits. The next step will be the cosmetic upgrades. Now, this isn't something that the building department needs to know what kind of cabinet you're putting in or what kind of countertops, but this is something that the builder offers. There's a fixed price on that. So let's say it's a countertop of quartz, or you want 42-inch cabinets. They'll have a fixed price on that, and they have a whole list that you can pick from. That's why I was saying earlier, it's always good to know what the upgrade prices can be, so when you do sit down to do this, it's not a big surprise. You already have that budget figured and you know what those items cost. And number three, the design center. Once you're under contract, someone from the building side or the builder's rep will contact you to have you come in to their design center. Again, every builder varies, but I'm just using like a norm. Some builders have very big showrooms and some might just have a little room in the back. And if they do offer any upgrades, that's where you're going to go and pick those out. Little note here, that's where builders make their money on upgrades in their design center. Number six, can I make changes after my choices have already been made? Well, I'll break it down. Structural? No, unless it's within a couple minutes or an hour from after meeting with the builder or going over those structurals, but most likely, no. Cosmetic selections. Usually there could be a little wiggle room on that, but that's just from what I've experienced. Every builder will be different. So you need to immediately, if you're thinking of a change right after you sign that contract, you get a hold of the builder or the builder's rep and try to do that ASAP to see if they will allow you to do a change before any material has been ordered. Here's a little heads up. In my experience, I've dealt with change orders, and when people come back and they want to make changes and we check with the builder, he'll agree to do it. However, there's going to be a change order fee. It used to go between $250 to $500. That's something that buyer has to pay that builder directly just for that. It's a service fee. Doesn't go towards a sales price. So I just want to let people know that some builders do charge a change order fee, and the reason being is they don't want people to constantly come back and change and change and change. It would just get out of control. That house would never be built on time. I like to just take a pause here for a minute. I don't work for builders directly. I sell their homes, but what I do is I work with buyers from the start of construction all the way to the end to close. Let's continue. Number 7, what is the initial deposit and how do you pay for upgrades? First is the deposit, and that's why you need to ask ahead of time. Now, builders always want as much money as they can as a deposit, but in some of my previous videos, I actually break that down, and you can go look at that particular video on deposits. So what I recommend, depending on your comfort level, is maybe you pay it in increments, but you need to know ultimately what that builder is going to require. Now, upgrade payments. This will vary. That's why it's important to first have these questions presented to the builder or the sales rep. That way you know how they charge for these or when they expect to be paid. In my experience, one builder used to set it at about $10,000 of upgrades. So if you did $10,000, they might have asked for 50% of that, and the other 50% they'd roll into the sales price. But again, every builder is unique, so you need to know this ahead of time. Number 8, how long will it take to build that home? Usually on an average size home, it takes about 6 to 9 months. However, there are a lot of variables in that. So you're going to use that as a tentative date, but just be prepared that they might have to extend that. Let's say you have a house to sell. Well, working with your realtor, and I've done this many of times with new construction, you don't want to put your house right on the market the moment you go under contract for new construction, because you could sell your house and then you don't have any place to live. Or if you're in an apartment at this point, maybe you can go to that, you know when your lease is going to expire, because that's when you should be buying that house, but then you go month to month. So it's important that you kind of keep that option on the back burner, because there is a possibility that closing date might be extended for whatever reason. I'd just like to take a moment to ask you to like and subscribe to my channel. And also hit that notification bell, because I do make weekly videos. Hope you find them helpful, and besides, it's all free. Number 9, does the builder allow an electrical walkthrough for the buyer? What is that? Well, when you're building a house, you're going to have different mechanicals go in there. Now, one of them that you can actually modify or adjust is your electrical. So in your house, you have your regular switches, your outlets, your lighting fixtures, whatever that has to do with electrical. So in one of my previous videos, I pointed out if you get a layout of that house, you can actually mark up the home where you're going to need different outlets or switches or lights. Let's say you work from home in your office, you might need additional lighting or different outlets. So during the rough-in, you meet with the electrician out there in the framing stages, and you go room by room and you mark out exactly. Now, if you don't have anything, they're going to do everything up to code and you're good. However, if you start adding different lights and switches and what have you, they're going to start charging you for it. And at the end of the walkthrough, they'll give you a list of all the items that you upgraded. And again, that's important. When do you pay? That's something that you ask the builder. Do they offer the rough-in? And how do you pay for those upgrades when you finish the walkthrough? Number 10, what is their walkthrough policy? Couple items here. So are you allowed to go out to the construction site during construction? Usually a lot of people go there on the weekends or after work. So is that allowed? Another part too, do they have what I call halfway complete at home? You meet with either the builder or the superintendent, or maybe even the sales rep. Usually after your mechanicals, your electrical, your plumbing, your HVAC, and your framing is all done, ready for installation. You really don't want to go there during the installation process. It's just, I wouldn't recommend it. But you meet with one of the reps, the builder's reps, and they kind of go through everything. They tell what the next stage is. You get to see everything that's going on before it's sheetrocked. Number 11, does the builder allow a third-party home inspector to come into the home? Now, the reason I ask that, there's a couple things that can raise red flags. If the builder says, no, I don't know, I'm not comfortable with that. If the builder is doing a good job, they don't care. They actually like another set of eyes on the whole home process, because they are building a home with manpower, and there's mistakes that are made. Maybe they're trivial, maybe they're usually not big, but something the home inspector is going to catch. Now, the reason too is because that's what they're being paid to do. They're looking for stuff. Unlike the builder who's trying to get to the finish line, that third-party home inspector is actually being paid to find little nuisance, if you will, or things that aren't completed. So, and also the other thing is, you want that builder to work with that home inspector. So if he hands in a report, but you don't want to spend almost $500 to find out the builder's not going to recognize it. So you need to know that ahead of time. The good news is, if you're my client, I reimburse you for that inspection after closing. And number 12, what type of home warranty does that builder offer? Is it a 1-year? Is it a 10-year? Is it an extended warranty? Those are the questions that you need to ask. And one other thing I want to mention, what I do again for my clients, I put an additional home warranty in place for them. Well, that's it for the 12 questions. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you have any questions regarding new construction, I'm easy to get a hold of. My contact information is listed down below or over here. And also, you can leave a comment in the section below and I will answer you. And another great source is go to my website, dale.frazell.com. You can search new homes, and there's a lot of information about new construction. Well, I've already suggested you check out a couple of my videos, but let's say you're undecided about your neighborhood. Check out this video about open and closed subdivision. There's a lot of information that could be beneficial to you. See you over there.